My narcissistic sister kicked me and my daughter out of our parents' house. Now they can't pay their bills. I'm 33, a single mom with a 5-year-old daughter. I divorced my cheating ex right after she was born. He was messing around during my pregnancy and postpartum period. I cut him out and moved in with my parents 2 years ago. 2 days ago, I came home from work to find my younger sister, Eva, 29, waddling around with a huge pregnant belly. She'd moved to Croatia with her husband after their wedding, and I was thrilled to see her go. Eva's always been awful to me, no real reason, just pure narcissism. She's convinced she's better than me, always turning our parents against me. As the baby of the family, she got away with everything. Eva's bigger and stronger than me. I'm petite and couldn't fight back if she grabbed me. Growing up, she'd bully me, but my parents never believed me, saying, "She's younger, she's not that strong." So I kept my distance, barely speaking to her unless I had to. Moving to another city for high school was a relief. But now, this monster was back. Seeing her pregnant, I figured she was visiting so our parents could help post-birth. I asked Mom how long Eva was staying. Eva overheard and screamed from the living room, "I'm moving in." Got a problem with that? Same old Eva, zero change. Mom said Eva's husband got transferred back to the States with company housing, but since Eva's pregnant, they decided she'd live with our parents for support during and after pregnancy. I asked Mom if she had time to babysit. She hesitated. "Well, we'll manage. Eva's so young, how can she handle a baby alone?" I was floored. Eva's 29. I was 27 when I had my daughter, managing solo because my ex was useless. Mom didn't help me, she said I had to learn motherhood on my own. But for her golden girl Eva? She's ready to play nanny. The favoritism was blatant. I kept my distance growing up because of their bias. When I divorced, I rented my own place, but Dad insisted I move in with them, saying their house was too big for two and they'd watch my daughter while I worked. It sounded reasonable, especially since I was a mess: pregnancy, postpartum depression, betrayal, divorce. So I moved in, paying rent to live there. But their help was a lie. Mom rarely watched my daughter, I had to hire a nanny. Mom claimed she couldn't be a full-time babysitter, just supervising the nanny like a human security camera. It was better than leaving my daughter alone with a stranger, so I dealt with it. Seeing Mom fuss over Eva fetching her food, meds, vitamins, stung. She visited me maybe 3 times during my pregnancy and once after. Hypocrisy at its finest. Knowing Eva was staying permanently gave me a bad vibe. Our house isn't big enough for all of us. I wasn't against moving out, but my daughter's too young to be left alone, and having Mom nearby felt safer, even if she barely helped. I'm an anxious mom, my daughter's my whole world. I'm overprotective, but she's all I've got. Update 1. Thanks for the advice, it calmed me down. My worst fear came true. 2 days after my post, I came home to find my stuff packed on the porch, my daughter sitting beside it. She said Aunt Eva packed everything and left her there. My quiet, sweet girl sat alone for hours, scared. I asked where Grandma and Grandpa were. She didn't answer, just hugged me, saying she was terrified of Eva. I asked if Eva hurt or yelled at her. She cried, saying Eva screamed things she didn't understand and threw my stuff so violently it freaked her out. I stormed in, yelling at Eva for answers. She smirked, "You're picking a fight with a pregnant woman? I can call the cops, you know I will." I shot back, "I'll call them for you scaring my kid while I was gone." She laughed, "Got proof? Mom was there when I packed. You know whose side she'll take." I called for Mom, but she was locked in her room. Eva's smug grin said it all, they were in on it. She taunted, "Nobody wants you here. We packed for you, made it easy. I'm pregnant, I need space. Get your lazy ass out." I said, "I'm not leaving. I pay rent." She lunged at me like when we were kids, yelling, "You pay rent? Got a receipt or contract?" Exactly. "How long you gonna leech off our parents, you pathetic loser? That's why your husband cheated, you're worthless. Leave, or I'll smack you in front of your kid." My daughter ran to me, terrified. I grabbed our stuff, loaded the car, and left. There was no point arguing. My parents are spineless. Eva wasn't lying, Mom was there, probably helping her pack. Eva's 7 months pregnant, she couldn't move furniture or heavy bags alone. They all ganged up. Eva's husband earns enough for them to live separately, but she came to our parents to torment me, leaving him in his company apartment. I don't know why she hates me or why my parents never call her out. I got a hotel for a week and hunted for housing. It was brutal juggling work and apartment searches. A coworker needed a roommate and let us crash with her after I promised my daughter wouldn't be a bother and I'd move out soon. She's been a saint. I found a place near work and my daughter's preschool, but the current tenant leaves in a month. I've booked it and I'm waiting. It's been 3 weeks since Eva kicked us out. My daughter still flinches, scared Eva will find us and hurt her. She can't explain what Eva did but sobs that Eva yelled, glared crazily, and threatened to hit her if she cried. She wets the bed from fear. I feel helpless seeing her so sad, knowing she was traumatized while I wasn't there. Eva's a future mom with zero empathy for a child. I'll never forgive her. If I get a chance for revenge, I'll crush her. Update 2. Last year, I paid rent to live with my parents. Dad asked for an extra $5,000, promising to repay it. I agreed to help. I didn't know they used my rent and the $5,000 for their mortgage. After I was kicked out, I stopped paying. On the 10th, Dad called in a panic. Why didn't you send the rent? The bank said the auto payment failed, no funds. I laughed. I don't live there anymore. Your golden girl kicked me out, remember? Why would I pay? He went quiet, then said, how am I supposed to pay the mortgage? My store's sales are down. Your rent and the $5,000 went to the mortgage. I replied, not my problem. I owe you nothing. I paid to live there and bought my own food. Ask your narcissistic princess for help, she'll save you. I hung up. An hour later, Mom called, your dad can't pay the mortgage, and you're hanging up instead of helping? You forgot we were there when your loser husband left. Swallow your pride and send the money. I snapped, you let me live there because I paid rent, which you used for the mortgage. I hired a nanny when I needed help, you didn't do squat. What support are you talking about? She realized I wasn't the doormat I was as a kid. She softened, honey, Eva's pregnant, she needs space, so she asked you to move out temporarily. No need to be mad. I said, she didn't ask, she threw me out while you all looked the other way. She traumatized my daughter, and I'll never forgive you. She tried defending Eva, she's just immature. Ignore her words. You're older, wiser, forgive her and send the money. Always about cash. I laughed, I'm not the pushover you used to walk over. You always put Eva above me. Letting her terrorize my daughter was the final straw. I never wanted to live with you, but I stayed because I feared leaving my daughter with a nanny. Now she feels safer with a stranger than with you. Mom sobbed, apologizing. I cut her off, your crocodile tears won't work. I'm not giving you a dime. Stop calling. They haven't called since. It's been a month. They're probably managing the mortgage somehow, or Eva's helping. I don't care. I'm happy in my cozy home with my daughter. I hired a nanny, a kind woman with a son 5 years older than my girl. They play great together. Coming home to a happy kid is everything. Life's getting better. Just gotta keep going. Update 3. Thanks for the support, it means the world. Sorry for slow updates, I've been swamped. I got promoted this year, woo, but it's more responsibility. Plus, mom duties keep me busy. Here's the latest, last week, my parents showed up at my work. They don't know my new address, so they ambushed me there. I told security not to let them in, I was slammed and not dealing with drama. Through the blinds, I saw them arguing with security, looking like they'd aged a decade. Mom was holding a baby, Eva's kid. Curiosity got me, so I went out. They broke down, begging me to save their house. Dad said they haven't paid the mortgage in 7 to 8 months, burning through savings for the first few after I left. The bank gave them time, but they didn't pay. Last month, they got evicted, and the house is for sale. They're in a dumpy apartment now, pleading for help. I listened calmly and asked why Eva wasn't helping. They looked down. Turns out, Eva's husband kicked her out for cheating, the baby isn't his. Her job transfer story was a lie, he's still in Croatia, and they're divorcing. I was stunned. And you still support her? Mom cried, we didn't know. She said she came to give birth. When you left and we asked her for mortgage help, the truth came out. I said, and you hugged her and cried? They admitted spending their savings on her medical bills and delivery. She had nowhere to go, they said. I asked where Eva was now. Mom mumbled, but Dad snapped, she's home, refusing to work. Mom cut in, how can she leave a tiny baby? I laughed. Her kid's 7 to 8 months old. Women worldwide work with 6-month-olds. Eva's no exception, she should have gotten a job ages ago. They begged again. I said, I don't have money to save your house. I spent my savings on my apartment deposit and my daughter's school. Mom made a face. I snapped, instead of grimacing, realize I'm a single mom raising my kid alone. They left, and I felt hollow. My manager noticed I was gone over an hour and asked what happened. I spilled everything. She suggested I offer to pay off the mortgage arrears and take over payments if Dad signs the house to me. With my raise, I could handle it. I'd let them stay, but Eva's out. I called Dad with the offer. He said he'd talk to Mom and call back. I said, don't take too long, you're out of time. A week later, no call. That's their answer. They'd rather lose the house and live in a dump than ditch Eva. Their choice. Today, I thought about driving by their house to check for a for sale sign but stopped myself. I cut them off a year ago and I'm sticking to it. They're not my family anymore. I'm happy with my daughter, who's thriving in elementary school. I'm so proud of her. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Am I right to stand my ground? Check out our last video, link here, subscribe for more drama, and thanks for watching. Story 2. My brother wants to steal my half of our inheritance. When my brother was 16 and I was 4, our grandma left us each a stock portfolio. He sold his when it was worth about the price of a car. I kept mine, and now it's worth serious money. Now he and his girlfriend want half of mine. As soon as we were old enough, our portfolios were transferred to our own accounts. By 20, my brother cashed his out for a new Honda. I'd known about my portfolio for years, watching it grow, especially since most was an Apple. By the time I got full control, it was huge. Dad drilled into me to let it grow until I'm 40, so I haven't touched it. I barely talk to my brother, he's made dumb choices, and we didn't grow up close. I hear about him through Dad. His new girlfriend, a legal assistant, sent me a formal letter claiming grandma's investments were meant for both of us, not just me. His share was worth $15,000 when he sold it, same as mine at the time. Now they want half my portfolio's current value. She threatened that legal fees and fines would wipe me out if I don't comply. The dividends alone cover a chunk of my expenses, bailing me out when I need it. I've moved to 4 states for fun and want to keep exploring before settling down if I ever do. Losing half would force me to cut back. Sounds selfish, but those dividends are my safety net. Update. Mostly good news. I talked to Dad and hired a lawyer. I mixed up the timeline, but the gist is the same. Grandma inherited Grandpa's portfolio, he was the finance whiz. After he died, she managed it, set up my brother's account, and gave him control. She didn't get to do mine before passing. Her will left everything to Dad, with instructions to give me $15,000 worth of stocks when I was old enough. No trust, just faith in Dad. He did right by me, opening my account and adding some of his own stocks to boost it. 6 years ago, he gave me control. He admitted yelling at my brother last year for begging for cash. Dad used me as an example of smart money management, which tipped my brother off about my portfolio's growth. My lawyer says I'm in the clear, no lawsuits coming. The girlfriend? Just a legal assistant, not a lawyer. Her firm fired her after my lawyer contacted them. Her letter was fake, she inflated her title and altered contact info. A week later, my brother showed up begging for money. His girlfriend's in debt, and her scam to swindle me backfired. It was hard saying no, but after her demand for a 5-figure sum, I was done. The next morning, all my tires were slashed. Screw him, I'm done feeling sorry. Your comments made me realize I know jack about stocks and dividends. I've leaned on Dad's advice, which has worked, but I'm clueless. I'm meeting a financial advisor to maximize what I've got. Thanks for the tips. What do you think of this mess? Drop your thoughts below, check out our last video, link here, subscribe, and thanks for watching.